let's go to Annalise Nielsen first of all, with Bill Shorten saying he's not taking today's result for granted as he was questioned over whether he'd recall Parliament immediately if he wins. He has cast his vote at his local polling booth just a short time ago. For Annalise Nielsen, it's a case of back on the bus. Annalise, I hope there's no PTSD for you, buses and microphones at the moment. Look, Bill Shorten seemed pretty popular on the way in here. He was defending not sort of crisscrossing the country right at the end, given, of course, plans changed with the death of Bob Hawke.
Oh, Tom, look, I tell you what, I don't think I have PTSD quite yet from being on the bus this long, but we did have to quieten down a very aggressive debate on the bus about whether a sausage sizzle is called a sausage and bread or a sausage sandwich. And I think this actually might reignite the entire press gallery again. And what's been one of the most heated arguments of the... OK, Tom, sorry, let's get the bus here. No, poor Brendan stuck in the seat. I think the cameramen actually probably have PTSD from being on this bus more than we do. But Election Day is finally here. Bill Shorten has been out and about. We did see him very confident shaking hands. He went to his local polling booth, and that's where he's been welcomed with open arms by many in the area. It's a very safe Labor seat, so no surprise there. But he was getting a few pats on the back, and a lot of people were happy to see Chloe Shorten's husband.
And thank you for what you're doing for the Australian people.
I really just wanted to say, I really loved what you're saying about inaction on climate change, that we can't afford not to act on it, and I really want to thank you for that leadership.
He was asked about what he would do if he wins next week. The polls are going that way, and he has seemed very confident, even yesterday, really winding back on campaigning. He was asked about that today and said it was in respect for Bob Hawke, that it was a sad day for many in the Labor Party. So they didn't want to go through the motions of what they were going to do, go through those marginal Queensland seats. But he was asked about what he would do next week if he does win government, and he was quite circumspect.
The first order of business will put a submission to the independent umpire to get the wages moving again for millions of our fellow Australians. My first legislation will be to reverse the cuts to penalty rates. We will convene the Parliament as soon as possible to start action on climate change.
Now, Tom, you'll remember this from your time on the campaign trail, but there was some controversy last election about how to eat a sausage, because it seems like Bill Shorten didn't quite have the memo last time. You'll remember him biting in sideways. It seems like he's learned his lesson about the campaign trail in more than a few ways, and today he did say he has figured out how to eat a sausage.
Tastes like a mood for change.
There you have it. We're covering all the important parts of the election campaign today. We're on the bus now. We think we're just going to one more polling booth, but they haven't told us quite yet. But we suspect just where we are on the motorway that we might be heading towards Chisholm. Very key seat for Labor to win over. We'll keep you updated as it happens.